What's up YouTube, Mr. Lamessy here, and today we're going to be starting part Nightmare of the Blizzard Sorceress. Last time I said we're ending part Nightmare, I got it all mixed up. We're starting part Nightmare today. It was a pretty smooth normal. We played pure cold all the way through normal, which again is not the most recommended build, but I've already done charge bolts and novas and fire bolts and fireballs and all that through normal. And it's like, that's what everybody does. So I thought, let's do something different. Let's go ahead and get Frost Nova rolling. And not even going the traditional Ice Bolt, Ice Blast, Glacial Spike, but going for the Frost Nova build. I sound like I have a lisp a little today. I bit my tongue super hard, 3 days ago, and it's been punctured. It was the hardest I've ever bit my tongue. It hurt so much. And it still hurts so much. It's just like, it's horrible. Anyways, let's take a look at our character. I know, I'm just going to keep biting it and just get so upset. So, here is our current character. We have enough strength to wear our spirit. Man, talking is just really making it feel horrible. Keeps banging against my teeth. I feel it. I don't like it. Nothing in dexterity. We have 15 points in energy just to get a little bit more mana. Once we get spirit, hereeth our current setup. Yes, once we get spirit, it's not going to be nearly as bad. But until then, having some extra mana for teleporting and stuff is really nice. And then, of course, the rest into vitality. Our skills, we are max blizzard. We just have the 1 point in Cold Mastery that we got at level 30. Again, we can adjust. I can't stop hearing my lisp right now. It's so bad. Just deal with it. I'm sorry. It's just fear it. My tongue hurts and it's just creating so much saliva. Once we get to level 35 or 40, we can adjust. Shut up. And put more into Cold Mastery and Blizzard. Take some out of the Ice Blast there. Maybe take a little bit out of Static, because we'll have the additional points from Spirit to help boost it out. Otherwise, this is kind of our build. Gear, 20 FCR. Just a tier rune right now. We'll look to get Lore Helm a little later on. Energy, mana, and cold res. Ancient's Pledge. Stealth. Just get the FCR and the res for those. Pretty basic gloves. Again, we're going to be updating these soon. Fire res, light res, hit recovery, fire res, and fire res. As well as some life and cold res right there. Our mercenary, we just kind of put some random things that we found on him. Because why not? We got an Act 5 mercenary. In our last build, we did an Act 3 mercenary. We're trying to, have fun and switch it up and do some different characters and all that stuff. So, first things that we want to do, potentially, just an idea if you would like to, is you can just head over here and you can shop new boots, new belts, new gloves, and you can look around and see, ooh, what is it that I want? Do I want to get more fire res? Do I want to get more, hit recovery, more life, whatever. You can shop very easily. You can also shop helms here, right, with some nice stuff. But it can just be a way to increase your character. That's actually where I got the boots that I have. Man, my tongue is so bad right now. This is going to be the most annoying guided playthrough in the history. People like to, say that I have a lisp anyways when I'm playing. Ooh, that's really nice. 18 life, 30 light res. Unfortunately, it's only a light belt, so it would only have 8 potion slots, which is pretty annoying. But if it wasn't for that, I would 1000% get it. So, like I say, do that as much as you want. You can boost your gear. I actually prefer doing it in Act 2. Elzix, I feel like, has a little bit better. Yeah. It's like, oh, you thought I had a lisp? Now, just wait. We can stick players 8 again right here if we want.
Evil beware.
And feel free to kill as much or as little as desired along the way. Again, we're kind of figuring out, do we want to level more? You know, what do you want to do with it, right? But the main thought is you will be able to get levels in the tower and also the runes. So generally the idea here is go ahead and push forward. We can actually do the den as well. So bad. So bad. Sorry, Pringles. We can do the den as well. I also, again, do like to do the den on players 1. Just because players 8 will take a little bit of time. So, unfortunately, we spawn these first few mobs.
Pretty basic build, simple gloves. First thing we wanna do is pop new boots, new gloves, hit recovery, more life, whatever. Wow, I would 1000% get that. Oh man, people already said I have a lift. This is gonna be unbearable. So bad, so bad.
Not enough mana.
Thank you, Binary.
Not enough mana.
Appreciate that. I'm just gonna be quiet. It's gonna be a silent guided playthrough.
I need mana.
That's it. It wasn't this bad, I swear, before. I feel like it's gotten more and more swollen. Do tongues get infected because you bit them so hard? Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know.
Ready for season 9? Too much update for me 8.
I know, some big updates for it, so.
Not enough mana.
What am I looking for in tower other than spirit? Other than spirit, we are looking for Lorehelm. Honestly, that's all we really need. If we find like an Io rune, we could make a bulwark for a mercenary. If we find another soul rune, we could make I'm distracting myself with the list.
This
We could make an insight for a mercenary.
Hello YouTube. Thanks for watching this guided playthrough. Remember to like and
I
subscribe.
wanted druid skills. Thank you very much, Lion. Want me to use an Act 5 mercenary? Why not? Act 5 mercenaries are actually pretty good, especially the two-hander ones. Main reason being, they actually are decently tanky.
I need mana.
We'll go Blizzard, Vitality. That's pretty much going to be everything we're going to do from this point forward with it. Yeah, he has Battle Cry, which is really nice.
Not enough mana.
The date of new ladder is tomorrow. Hey, Nyx
Rarely get to
Monster.
catch you live. Just wanted to drop in and say thank you for the content over the years and congrats on Mini Llama number 2.
Thank you so much. There is tomorrow. It's a good reminder. I need to get the YouTube set there. GG, thank you so much. What do you think they need to give Rogue, Sorcerer, and Barbarian Mercenaries to be in the same level as Auras from Act 2? I mean, the difficult thing is Act 2 Mercenaries have an aura, and none of the other mercenaries do. And it's not just that they have auras, it's they have some pretty nice auras as well, right?
Not enough mana.
Like, you have Holy Freeze, you have Might, like, those are really good. On top of that, a lot of pole arms will also get auras, thus you can double aura pretty easily with them, and that makes it hard to beat. Bellimar, thank you very much. Gray sword back there. I already have my broadsword, so I'm good. Otherwise, yes, I would go for it. Alright, Black Marsh. Like I said, our goal here is to find waypoint and tower. No dust.
Not enough mana.
Use them up. So, really you're gonna have to, like, buff up the other mercenaries a lot so that the Act 2 mercenary is like a weaker mercenary but has auras, and then the other mercenaries are stronger but will, you know, not get the innate aura. That's kind of how it has to be, because right now the Act 2 mercenary is just better and also has auras. Battle orders would be definitely enough to make somebody use an alternative mercenary, at least playing through, but once you get CTA, then that becomes worthless, and actually probably detrimental, because then he'll start battle ordering with a weaker battle orders, right? So fortunately none of that will happen. Bliss has forsaken us. I don't know, man. I don't know. They just showed that they're doing stuff, putting WASD into the game, right? So we're like definitely on the cusp of the cusp. I feel like, you know, good stuff is just around the corner. Any day now, they're going to be like, wham, bam, giant new patches, Act 6, new items. You never saw this coming. Any day. Alright, make sure we go down to players 1 for Countess kill, because again, we want more runes. We're looking for Amrune, Thol rune. We already found the Thol rune, but you will want Tal, Thol, Ort, Am, as well as Ort, Sol. That is going to be your combination, and I mean, just why not on the guided playthrough? Just first try everything, of course, right? Why not?
Good day.
In my speed run, 20 towers to get it. Okay. We actually don't have the Ort because we used it for the Ancient's Pledge, so that it's fine. We'll just go down for another Ort. But we also are one Tal short. We have Tal, Ral of making an Ort. So, not a big deal. We'll just do some more towers. I like doing a little bit of towering anyways. Again, it's decent experience. There's some nice bosses in there. Why not? Make sure we go players 8 again. So in normal, remember, you were getting 1 boss group per level, sometimes 2, sometimes 0. In Nightmare, you'll get multiple boss groups per level. So it can be really a nice place to pick up some extra EXP. For instance, there's one, there's another. We'll have a third one right up there. Oh, there actually is a broadsword, maybe 4 sockets. Ah, we could have saved our socket quest. So that is one thought and reason why you might not immediately do socketing. Because, hey, maybe you come across... Oof. Nasty boss group. Curse archers? Nah, we're okay. Some people might be asking as well in the newbie section, why are we not making a spirit shield? You seem very set on making a spirit sword, but why not a shield? And the answer to that is a shield is not possible. First off, to get a 4-socket shield that's not a paladin-only shield. Yeah, mercenary died. You will have to wait until hell, or maybe like late, you know, once you finish Nightmare, maybe some like late Terror Zones in Nightmare could get it. But you won't be getting a shield until then, because the best shield, lowest strength requirement shield that you can get for that is a Monarch shield. It is 156 strength requirements. That is the lowest strength requirement 4-socket shield. There are only 3 that will get it. So a big strength investment, and nothing that we can get anyways right now. Make sure we go to players 1. So, could we in hell find a Monarch shield and do it? Sure. Wow, Ort IO. Literally just like insane drops. Okay, I mean, just wow.
Good day.
So there's an IO that gives us potential of making a bulwark. Otherwise, Tal, Thol, Ort, Am, 25 FCR, womp womp. That actually does kind of suck, because now that puts us at 50 FCR. If we had at least 28 FCR, I might re-roll another one since we got another Am rune and Thol rune. We literally just need another Ort. If we get at least 28 FCR, then 28, 38, 48, 53, and all we need is one 10 FCR piece to hit 63, which gets us to the next breakpoint. So 28 is kind of the magic that you want, other than 35, because with 35, then of course 105 is the breakpoint afterwards for FCR that you're aiming for. So either way, it's fine. It's not like the craziest, you know, biggest deal ever, but just something. And now with this spirit, we also have 281 mana, which is much nicer. We also have more life, better plus skills, etc. Right? Yeah, like 1 frame difference isn't the worst thing ever, but you will feel it. That is one thing that's very interesting. God, I can't talk. That's very interesting about Diablo 2. Is every frame, because it runs 25 FPS, you really feel the difference between, you know, 12 frames and 11 frames, or 11 and 10, whatever it is. That you can definitely feel it. And players 1, what up, Miles? Yeah, Mercenary died. It's okay. Mercenaries aren't, like, that important. They need a lot of babying and stuff, and just be kind of weak. Put more points into Blizzard. Put more points into Vitality. Nef Dull. We actually got IO Dull. IO Dull. I never got a hardcore character to 99. No.
Good day.
Dang, Tuncer. I haven't played hardcore like that as much. I play a lot like speedrunning hardcore and things, and I've done some like dueling hardcore, like low-level duel characters and stuff. But I never really just went on like a grind with a hardcore character to hit 99. So maybe something for us in the future. Okay. IO rune again. What? It's like such a rare rune to find in the tower. 2 of them now. Dang, Dust, where are you at? If I get a taste for some soul crushing. Right now I just kind of have a taste of blood, maybe a little pain. Another point to Blizzard, more vitality. Player set to 1. Dull Ral. Marathon Monday stream won't stop until character's 99. I mean, you know 99 takes like a little bit more time, right? Could always save a 4 open socket staff for a memory if we wanted ever. But if we were doing memory, I would socket a new one anyways. So you can spend, like I say, more or less time. I've got the spirit. I'm kind of trying to get Ort Soul now, as I would like a Lorehound. But you could also move forward here. This is kind of the beauty of these better characters like this, right? This isn't the Vengeance Paladin, where you have to really baby him and get a lot of gear going and stuff, and he still struggles. This is one of your like S tier really better characters, so you can move on much sooner if you want. Or, like I always say, more levels and more experience here, more items is never bad, right? It doesn't hurt you in any capacity. So if you want to just spend your time and farm up to level, heck, 45, level 47, 48 down here, go right ahead, you know? I'm already level 40. Like, this character farms really quickly. It's very easy because she just has such high damage. And we just kind of keep making it easier and easier for ourselves. Is it a thing to stack 100% crushing blow with melee? Sure, you can do that. Dull Thal. Dang, keep getting the Dull runes. As PoE2 and D2 are 6 hours apart, would I do both? So, I would do it if it was the opposite way. But Path of Exile 2 is coming out first. And I'm going to just focus on that. Smart Kai.
Take my Bezos box.
I will happily. Matt Canada, thank you so much for stealing a little bit out of Bezos' pocket and putting it into my baby's diaper fund. Archers are so nasty. The highest rune that you will find in Nightmare Countess is Io. Now, could you find, you know, a higher rune because from the non-special rune drop and stuff? Sure. I'm just saying the highest that you will find from her special rune drop table in Nightmare Countess is Io. Ral Am. I mean, that's a third Ral rune, which does give us another Ort rune, which does give us then the Ort if we want to re-roll. And I'm going to do it. Tal, Thol, Ort, Am. 29 FCR. Just enough. Just got there. 26 life is also a decent enough Grand Charm. I will hold on to it. It's just for money. So with that, I have a 10 FCR ring. And now we're at the 63 breakpoint. Another point Blizzard, more points here. Will there ever be a better ARPG than Diablo 2? It's a good question. ARPG, probably not. JRPG, LOM RPG is coming out. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Hashtag ad? Psh, I'm not paying myself for it at all. I don't gotta have that in my title. Do you have that? Oh, nice, sweet. Can't put that one there though. Bill! Okay. If that's a 4-socket bill, that could be really nice. That would be insight. Darn. Now, Path of Exile 2 is coming out, and I am very excited for it, and I do believe we'll get a lot of really great stuff with it, so... Probably more towards the later half a thing. Early 2025 was the plan for LOM RPG before the second baby was born. But now that the second baby's born, it's kind of gonna delay a little bit. 50 to mana, wow. I like 50 to mana more than 14 to life. Yes, I could keep both, but... We'll go ahead and go there. More Vitality, more Blizzard. We're level 43. Hard to get this Soul Rune, unfortunately. I'll do maybe a couple more tries for it. If it doesn't happen, then it wasn't meant to be. Take it easy on Moo Girl. Oof. Baby's not pulling their weight when it comes to coding. Not quite. You know, I thought having more kids, I'd be able to take advantage of free labor, but so far, nothing. I'm like, what did I have you for? Love, a family? You're supposed to be farming me runes, high runes in your off time. And working on LOM RPG. Would you ever do an actual guide playthrough where you guide one of us through a build? I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm literally guiding you guys through this build completely. If you have any questions, you're confused on anything, go ahead and ask. I will answer. That's nice, Capishan. Why kill Countess at players 1? Because she actually drops more runes on players 1 than players 8. It's very backwards, I know. She is the only monster in the game where dropping the player count will increase her rune drop. And the reason is because of the way her special rune drop works. So basically, first she does her regular drop of items, and then she fills in with runes after that. If she drops too many items in her regular drop, which on players 8 she would, then she doesn't get to drop all of the nice runes because she can't fill in the spots afterwards because you've already kind of filled them in, right? So she's only going to drop up to X items, and so players 8 will fill it with not runes more. We'll cube some juvies up just to save space and for later. And we'll just move forward. We don't have to do a lore helm. And now that Blizzard is maxed, I'm going to start putting points into Cold Mastery. If you want to put into synergies, you can, but Cold Mastery, being able to continue increasing the minus res on monsters, is actually extremely valuable. So I like to do that one second after Blizzard. Yes, and it's just making sure that she dies on players 1. You don't have to spawn her on player 1. Because the way that the game functions for which player count they drop items on is the lowest of all of the ones since you have seen. So if you spawn her on players 5, then go to players 8, she will drop on players 5. If you spawn her on players 7, then go to players 3, she will drop on players 3. Whatever the lowest is, when seen. Cold Mastery does not break immunities, that is correct. So that will not be used for breaking immunities. Nor will a lower resist wand really be used for breaking immunities. We'll get a lower resist wand just because it's helpful. But cold is actually extremely difficult to break resistances. Lightning, you can break most resistances. Fire, you can break some. Cold, good luck breaking any. There's like, you can break the resistances of the witches in Baal's throne room and stuff. Maybe like a couple others. There's really not a lot of mobs that you will break their res. And the reason is cold res just tends to be higher on mobs. So when you're looking to break res with conviction and lower res and such, it does a minus res on the enemy monster. So a lot of monsters with light res that you can break, or just with light immunity, will have like, you know, 105, right? It's actually in the 200s because they start at negative 100 and whatever, but you know, whatever. 105 light res. So when you break it, you can break it. So a majority of lightning immune mobs are 105, 110. They're pretty low. Fire tends to be kind of in the middle. You get some low, but you get many as well. They're like 220, 230, which are harder to break. And then cold, a lot of the mobs are just like 140, 150 cold res. And even if your, you know, immunity breaking says, oh, it should do minus, you know, 60% or minus 100%, let's say. It only works at 1/5 the value when you're breaking an immunity with it. So it's actually only 20% if it's 100% when you're trying to break it. And well, 20% doesn't get it done. And that is just a majority of the cold mobs in this game. If you would like to farm, oh, this is level 3. But if you would like to farm in Duriel, you can get the waypoint, of course, on level 2. Otherwise, make sure you're on players 1 or players 3. Honestly, there's not much reason to kill bosses, act bosses on much higher than players 3. But if you want to, you can. And you can get some nice drops. And just like that, Act 1 of Nightmare is done. Put a point in Cold Mastery, more Vitality. 27 light res. I still kind of like the energy and such, but I'll go ahead and hold on to it. Ooh, 6 life, 29 fire res is nice. However, I have a ton of fire res right now, so I'm gonna hold these as optional pieces. Thanks, Lucky. And here, like I said before, you can easily pick up some faster run walk. You can pick up some whatever, gloves, belts. This is my favorite place to really shop and get some nice new gear.
Good day.
So just check around, see what they're selling.
What you need?
I do need some new gloves. These are only 5 light res. That's pretty weak.
Welcome to the desert rain.
41 life. I mean, 7 light res. I might just run 17 MF. There were 25 MF, you know. I could just opt for that instead.
Hello.
But I would just like some decent res. This is actually pretty nice because it's a demon hide sash, which means we get an extra belt slot. So I'll go ahead and swap into that. Additionally, my hit recovery now with stealth and spirit is extremely high, so I don't really need the hit recovery anymore. 75 to life though is pretty nice. That might be worth the belt slot. GG, Dom. Do you shop during speedruns? Sure.
Hello.
40 light res on boots. And now we start to open up some of these ways that we can change things around. Oh, we have this belt if we wanted to go fire res there, and this. 40 light res over the 32. I'm going to go ahead and take this extra life here. Like I say, you can kind of keep these things in your stash, and then, you know, Act 2 has high lightning damage from all the beetles. So I'm going to go ahead and have a higher light res here. And then when I get to Act 4, for instance, I'll probably want to have higher fire res. So I'll go swap the boots out for fire res there. And then these are some of my favorite places to farm as well, because you can just really get some big boss groups all kind of piled up together. They're not too hard to kill. So I very much do enjoy it. Now, something we will want to think about. So I want to go ahead and put this in your head right now. I will mention it again later, but I want to right now make sure that it's being thought of. Is we will need to, at some point, have some fire damage. Or some other damage, potentially. Unless we want to cheese with our mercenary and let the mercenary be the one to purely kill Corlick. right? Because Corlick is cold immune, and he is unbreakable cold immune. So we will not be dealing with him in that way. So the two options are, number one, cheesing the Ancients and having a mercenary kill, in which case we'll still need to find a way to kill Desace. Again, could use a mercenary for it if we want. Or option number two is getting a little bit of fire damage on our own, or light damage, or whatever. But I find the best is get fire damage with Firewall. It's just nice and simple. Another point to Cold Mastery. Nice and easy, and you can just kind of get them set up and then just Firewall them. Now you could also go into Fireball if you wanted. You could also go into... Yeah, Blaze wouldn't be great because Desace isn't going to really run on your Blaze. You could go into Lightning. You could go into, you know, I mean, there's Hydra if you want. Like, take your pick. You'll just need some other skill that's going to have decent enough damage. And skill is a little bit TBD of your choosing.
I sense strong magic within this place.
I will play PoE tomorrow, yes, when it launches. We will be on for launch. If you gift 2 subs tomorrow, after launch happens there, you will be able to get a Chimera pet in the game. So, fun little boost. Cold Mastery. Is there a map pack in the desert? I mean, there's definitely like stuff to know. If you go to my map pack in your mind video, I discuss what you need to know and how to improve searching in the desert. Charge Bolt is also not bad. It has a good shotgun to it. You have to read Wind and Truth, which comes out tomorrow. Nice, nice. What series is that in? Everybody just decided December 6th was the day for everything. I am skipping this ladder reset. Have I come in first in ladder race for D2R? Yes. Season 2, you will see my character as rank 1. Ah, another Sanderson. Sounded like a Sanderson title. Christmas is also going to be celebrated on December 6th this year, apparently. What map's most challenging to read? I mean, probably just the ones that you can't, like, really read, you know. Like trying to find the maggot lair or something. Good luck. Garbage gloves, unfortunately. Okay. So now we just look for the summoner. You might ask why I open my inventory or my character screen when I'm teleporting. The reason is it actually lets you teleport further by doing so. So I can show you right now. The farthest I can teleport right here is where my mouse cursor can go, right? So see that distance. Now watch when I press character screen. Notice how my character moves further to the right? Thus, I can actually move further and have a further teleport because it's to your mouse point. It doesn't have a set limit. Except on like super wide screens and stuff, I believe they set it. We fourth wayed. So it's a little trick we use for a little bit further teleporting. Also remember, you do not have to kill the summoner. I'm kind of clearing some stuff up here because it's pretty nasty.
That couldn't have been horizontal. Poor Rich.
And then, which way do we go here? We want to find the triangle. Remember, it's always the same pattern. You have the circle over here. Then you have the moon. The, like, down moon, smile. Then you have the square. Then you have the star at the top center. Then you have the double down arrow. Then you have the triangle. Then you have the circle over the moon, smile, cyclops, smile, whatever. Whatever you want to refer to it as. So I can know instantly this is where the triangle is and just teleport right to it, instead of having to search all the symbols every single time. That order does not change. Again, if you ever feel like, oh, I need some money, picking up just some armors like this can be really big money for you. Okay. Down and around map, looks like, yep. And, you know, a ring mail will be worth like a few thousand, but if you pick up the higher level, so the exceptional and the elite versions of armors, it's going to be worth much more money. So, ring mails and breastplates and that stuff can be nice and normal, but once you get to Nightmare and you really want to get more gold, now you can see this is worth 30,000 for a mesh armor. Now we have Duriel again, so what do we do for Duriel? We chug our thawing potions, we increase our cold res. Really nice. Put our points in vitality, go down to players 1 or 3 or whatever we feel like we want to fight him on. Remember, you can static him to 33% in Nightmare before static no longer works. Kiwi 2 is tomorrow. And a nice and easy kill. And a crown! Ah, darn it, Smilobragus. Irathas would actually be, not bad.
Diablo and Baal have escaped me.
See what the belt is. Not good enough. Can trash it. And that was quick. Act 2 of Nightmare is complete. Let's go ahead and continue forward.
Good day.
Go ahead and put the Rao rune away. Yes, you will want 1 point in Fire Mastery no matter which skill you end up picking.
I don't sense any magic about this item.
It's just really nice. Also, generally, not always, because sometimes it's a little weird, but generally you will find the Jade figurine in the first unique boss group that you kill, or that you see, I should say. So I always like to go and kind of kill that first one. And kind of kill just some of the first ones that you see, because that is the general thought. But yeah, 1 point in Fire Mastery regardless of which fire skill you take, or 1 point in Light Mastery if you take a light skill. is very necessary.
I'm overburdened.
Who I got tonight? Lions or Lions? I'm feeling the Lions tonight. Who are they playing today? 22 to light res. At this point, the mana per kill is, you know, nice, but I'll take 22 light res instead. Packers. Could actually be a nice game. And that takes us to Great Marsh. We can go ahead and check really fast to see if we have a flare jungle over here. We do not. Okay, so Great Marsh it is. No skip. Okay. And we can just move through. I'm also level 49, which is a pretty good level at this point. I'm going to go to players 8 for the Flare Jungle because it's just got some nice experience. All the little dudes running around. And again, a Demon Hide armor is an exceptional armor, so worth good money. I'll go ahead and morph some more full rejuves. Get some more mana potions. And because our light res is now really high, thanks to getting this helm, I'm going to go ahead and swap on the fire res boots. And that keeps us pretty solid. Also, Act 3 just has more fire damage anyways. Put some of that away. And just kind of kill some dudes. Grab a waypoint for safety. And keep rolling. We'll just keep jamming. Cold Mastery here. Now, Cold Mastery can get too high before Sunder Charms actually come into play. Because with Sunder Charms you want it max, but prior to that, it actually can get to be a little bit high where it's not having too much effect, because the most that you can drop a monster's res is to minus 100. That's true for players as well and everything. So if you have, for instance, minus 150% cold res, and a monster only has 120% cold res, then you're, or you know, whatever, 20%, then you're going to be dropping it only down to minus 100, and that extra bit is wasted. And could have been extra damage if you put it in synergies. It's not a big deal, you don't have to like crazy focus on it. But just something to note. Yeah, I agree. It's a little unfortunate that BT asked if he could do multiplayer mod and they said no. Because now he doesn't get the plausible deniability. Because they were like, no, you cannot. Alright, let's see what ring we get. Hey, 10 FCR. Remember, we are at 64 FCR right now, which puts us on the 63 breakpoint. No more FCR matters until we get to 105%. So wearing this over this ring would be absolutely pointless. And it's very doubtful I will get to 105%.
While and listen.
We would need some crazy drops for that to happen. Round shield. That's fun. Actually, a really fun drop. So we got ourselves a Mosers. And we can work on, I guess, getting a couple perfect diamonds there. To get even more resistances. And it also has really nice blocking, so if we wanted, we could start boosting dexterity up with it to increase our chance to block and go for a blocking source, but I'm probably not going to run a max block source. But it is an option. Yeah, it is that is a slightly better shield though for us than Ancient's Pledge, because again, with the diamonds. No lore helm. We did not find what we needed there. Alright, we have a flawless diamond and a regular diamond. We also have all these chip gems if we need gold. There's magic find. Sure, why not? So there's a couple things we can do. Number one, we can just wait until we find it. Oh, oops, I set a TP. Oh well. We gotta go back and do the Flare dungeon. By the way, we are in the lower Kurast, where you can run players 8, and you can pop all sorts of poppables. And this is actually number 2. Option 2 is you can just pop all the poppables out here until you find a bunch of diamonds and flawless diamonds. So, and foul rune, because why not? Like I say, this is kind of like my favorite cheat code of an area.
It's locked.
It's I mean, there's another one. Just like that, we found our first perfect diamond. Boop. Pretty wild, huh? There's an Amrune. Couple chips. Flawless ruby. Broadsword that you can use to make a spirit if you still need. Waypoint here. And for gems specifically, and runes, it can be really nice to go after those super chests. So, one to Mastery's Barbarian. We can also go farm 2 gem shrines now if we would like. So I can show that as well. Let's go ahead and dump that. Sure, why not? So if you want to find gem shrines, the best places to look, honestly, are just in Act 1. And specifically in the Stony Field is my favorite. Identify where your shrines are. What are we doing at the Foul? We will take a look at the Foul in a second. Probably not really anything, but we'll at least take a look. See if we got any other shrines. No. Okay, just those 2. So, we want to get perfect diamonds. The important thing to do first will be make sure we have our flawless diamonds in our inventory. And then we can literally just do this. Over and over. Oopsies. And just look for gem shrines. So takes, you know, a few seconds per check. But the reason that we would do it in this way is because a single gem shrine is worth 3 flawless diamonds, right? Or 2, I guess, since you have to convert 1. Gem shrine, gem shrine. Well, that was convenient. All right, easy as that. Cool. We need 53 strength. We'll go ahead and put into there. And now we have a 63 all-res shield instead of a 48. With also some better block chance if we wanted to go more into block. So, pretty easy, right? What else would I maybe do? I'd maybe go for Flawless Amethyst. Right, so we could do the same thing. Just look for some gem shrines. I want to say a gem shrine is like 1 in 32, 1 in 31 chance. Something like that. Yeah, this shrine will always be a health shrine, by the way. So, that's why I'm not going to that one. This is also a great place to easily pick up an experience shrine or a skill shrine or whatever it is that you want. Why is that one always health? Because it's a different style of shrine. Basically, any shrine that is not the one that'll have the orbs over it is a different type of shrine. There's a gem shrine. I could, you know, we can keep going for another one, right? I mean, it's just kind of up to you. There's another gem shrine. Perfect. All right. That was probably a little bit on the luckier side for how often you get them, but nothing too crazy. So, when you want to then look up your crafted items, we are a caster, so we're going to look at caster amulets, but of course there's also blood amulets and safety items and all that stuff, but we are looking here. So, caster belt can be nice because it can add FCR, and caster amulet can be nice because it can add FCR. Again, I don't personally need FCR right now, but for some of you who rolled that 25, 26, 27% FCR and you're like, oh my god, I'm so close, but I just need a little bit more or whatever, this can be a great way to get it, one of these 2 pieces. Now you can also roll caster gloves that add 1 to 3 mana per kill and some mana. You can roll it on boots to increase your mana a little bit and get +2 mana, right? Like, all of these will give slightly different things. And there can be, when you're playing through the game, reason to make many of them. Just because I have the perfect gems, I have the runes, why not? So a caster belt is just an ith rune, a perfect ami, and any jewel. And you get these 3 mods guaranteed, and then you can roll other mods as well. And a caster amulet is a magic ami, Ral rune, perfect amethyst, and any jewel. And it gets this. So the Ami is a pretty typical one, especially we don't have like an amazing Ami. But we will want to have a higher level amulet for it. So I'll go ahead and put in those. I'll put in a random jewel I kept. And now I just need an amulet. The first thing I could do is just go gamble an amulet. And that'll get me an amulet between -5 and +4 of my skill level. Or I can just go find an amulet and just use that, whichever one works. Of course, Wichita. So, anyways, we can go back, lower Kurast, right? Again, just going between here and there and popping these chests, you can get the charms, you can get the you'll definitely want to have your gems. You can get plenty of gold. You can get sweet items. You can find the bases that you want for... Remember when I talked about, like, oh, if we could get a 4-open socket polearm. Well, you can get a white bill out here, and then you can take that white bill over to Larzik. Socket quest it, and a bill will get 4 sockets. Again, whenever you're looking at how many sockets an item will get, you need to know the eye level of the item, and then you need to know the max sockets on it. Pretty much anything in Nightmare, with the exception of a little bit in Early Act 1, and Hell, will get whatever the max sockets is when you take it to Larzik. So it's just the early bits of Act 1, sometimes it'll get the middle number of sockets. But for that, I would do, again, similar idea. I would literally just Google, like, D2R sockets. That takes me to Diablo 2 wiki. And it will literally show me the item, and then whatever the eye level is, and the max number of sockets based on the eye level. So I can go down and I can look up Bill. Bill gets 3 if I find it in normal, and it's a really low eye level. So like if I find a Bill in Act 3 of normal or something, which I'm not even sure you can find it that early. 4 if it's anywhere in Nightmare and anywhere in Hell, and 4 if it's anywhere in Nightmare and anywhere is Hell as well. So as long as the eye level is 26 plus, it will get 4 sockets. And that's how I'm kind of just determining what I'm, doing there, what I'm looking for, what I want, etc. In the Kurast Bazaar, I will look for the ruined temple. It is the temple that is facing to the bottom left. Again, only in the Kurast Bazaar. This is going to be the temple with a couple of things. Number 1, it is going to have Lamb Messin's Tome, which gets us plus stats and is a quest item. And number 2, it's going to have Battle Maid Serena there, who can be really nice for getting some experience. I also did promise we would take a look at the foul room, so we can take a look there. So let's take one more look. Whenever you find a cool rune, something that I like to personally do is just go and type in foul rune. And again, come here and I can look at all the rune words that can be made with foul rune. We can make chaos, that requires an and an om. We can make famine, that needs an jaw. We can make gloom, pull. We can make Kingslayer, goal, mal. Those are all too hard. Lionheart, hell, foul. That's pretty close. We don't have a lum yet, but it's a lower rune. Metamorphosis, cham. Obedience, that's pretty nice. Needs a ko. And unbending will. So these are the 3 that we can look at. The first one is Lionheart, which is a pretty nice body armor. It's not for us exactly because we need the FCR right now. But let's say that we get to 63, 88 FCR, and we can take that off our stealth and put on another armor. This could actually be a decent armor to make, right? 30 all res, 50 to life, 15 dex, 20 vita, 10 energy. Like, yeah, it's not horrible. It's more of a melee character. The ED will not affect our damage because that affects physical damage, but it is still just a nice armor. It could also be decent for a mercenary if we wanted. Obedience is a beautifully sick item. It goes in polearms and spears with 5 sockets. 30% chance to cast level 21 enchant. Hit recovery, 370 ED. 40% chance crushing blow. Minus enemy fire res. All resistances. This is a very good item. This would be my ideal to use it for. So if I find a co-rune, I will want to go and get this for my mercenary. This is probably like my favorite weapon for a mercenary to use. Playing through, it just does so much for him. It makes him like super strong and amazing. And it's not too expensive either. Again, Thol, Eth, Fal we already have. Hell we can get from Nightmare Countess. It's not like the best drop chances, but she can drop it. And Korun we can get from Hell Countess, though she is cold immune, so she's not really a person for us to fight as much. But we could also get from Nightmare Forge or whatever. Insight is not better. Insight is better in the way that like you get the aura and stuff, which is nice. But just from your mercenary being stacked, this is a better item. And then the last one is Unbending Will, which is a new item. It goes in non-magic swords with 6 sockets. So there's not many swords with 6 sockets. You basically have the Great Sword, which upgrades all the way up until the Colossus Blade. So it's just that one sword type, or you have the Crystal Sword and then Dimensional Phase Blade, right? So basically, one two-hander and one one-hander that this can go in. But if you were to make it in one of those and give it to an Act 5 mercenary, you get the chance for taunt, you get the 3 to combat skills, IAS, big ED, max damage, big lifesteal. It's pretty nice. So I would say this would be a great weapon to give to an Act 5 mercenary. Now, in a Phase Blade would be, probably okay. Dimensional Blade would be okay. It'd probably be better just to find a really sick two-hander and give it to him. It also has requirements minus 20%. Again, we can look up D2R swords, and I'll go to exceptional swords. So the Executioner Sword will get 6 sockets. It is 170 strength though, which if you take 20% off of that, that's minus 34. So it's 136 strength required. An Act 5 mercenary a little bit later on could possibly use that. And then obviously he'll probably have enough dex, I would imagine, at 88. So that is probably what I will look for because it's Fal, Io, Ith, Eld, El, Hell. I already have Fal and Io. Ith, Eld, El, I might have. I'll have to go look at my inventory later. But yeah. And I can also, of course, with that amount of strength, I can also give him a helmet or something that has plus to strength on it. Right, I can just jam some amethysts in a helmet really quickly, have him wear that, or find another item with plus strength and have him use it until he can get something better. Flawless Ruby, Flawless Ruby. Oh no, is it a middle? No, there it is. Are we going for an Act 5 mercenary? I mean, if we make that weapon... Alright, I'll go ahead and get a perfect ruby. Oh wait, I didn't see I had a flawless sapphire. Alright, well, we have a perfect sapphire now too. Which honestly is probably not bad. Because we can consider making a prismatic amulet. Will give us even more res for hell. There is a gray Zweihander. Yes, Zweihanders can only get up to 5 sockets. Otherwise, good catch. Here is an amulet. And remember we talked about just wanting to find an amulet. So we found it in a decently high level. Let's see. Ah, 1 to Druid skills. We were so close. But we get 7 FCR, which again doesn't super matter to us right now. But it is something that if we just had that 25 FCR on our spirit, this would now get us there. It would now bring us to enough. 10 to life, 17 mana, and 17 light res. I say worth it. So we'll still end up using it. We can also go ahead and turn these in. We'll get another point in Cold Mastery. We'll get more points into Vitality. Still trying to complete first SSF offline hell. Realize why I've been selling so hard in hell. It's a hard game. This is not an easy game. We actually have so many of those. So if you are looking for a prismatic amulet, which is an amulet that gives all resistances, I believe 16 to 20, maybe 14, one of the two, will be the roll, as well as whatever else rolls on it. Then you need one of each type, and I don't have any topaz of any kind. So I would need to get a perfect topaz, perfect, right, one of each of these, not counting a skull, and then I can mix it with an amulet and it'll roll it. Oh wait, I didn't turn in the book. Okay. But right now our resistances are pretty darn good. So I'm feeling solid. Yeah, we explained the gem shrines in the Stony Field, right? I mean, we literally, like, can very quickly go right back to that and just farm those up. And in 5 minutes, I can have everything I need. I can go get a flawless topaz and a flawless emerald in the, there's another emerald. It's one more away from flawless. In the lower Kurast, and then I can just go do a gem shrine really fast. Now, something that can be really annoying is these guys will heal each other, so it can be beneficial to actually separate them off and fight them one at a time. I'm also on players 8 right now, so that's why they're like really kind of tough. We will be doing the flare dungeon as well. I didn't forget, I'm just doing this. But now they won't heal each other. We can get the flail. And we will go back to the flare dungeon. Again, you can really choose how much or how little you wish to kill as you're kind of playing through. One of the nice benefits is just feel it out. If you get in an area and you're like, I don't really want to kill anymore, don't kill anymore. Like, you can go farm later, you can farm earlier. So, for instance, I am level 52. I'd be fine going to hell at level 52. I'd recommend for you, you get a little bit higher than that. I'd say get at least to 60. But you do you, you know? Can I get my thoughts on Glacial Spike versus Ice Bolt versus Ice Blast? Sure. Ice Blast is actually my favorite. The reason is it's got really nice damage. So if you see it's got 302, like these are pretty similar in their level. But this is 300 damage. This is 120 damage. Now, Ice Blast is just kind of a single target. Whereas Glacial Spike has the AoE. So you can use Glacial Spike more for control, right? It's more of a crowd control skill, but less of a damage skill. I guess I'm not showing the damages there. There you go. Ice Bolt just sucks. Don't use Ice Bolt. But Ice Blast to Glacial Spike, you kind of get that decision. So you get a lot more damage there. I have Glacial Spike running right now, but honestly, I'll swap here. Generally, I would say you're going to be using Glacial Spike when you're in like bigger areas with more mobs around. And then when you're going to fight bosses, you'll use Ice Blast. But I also like Ice Blast because Glacial Spike freezes everything. And one of the things that's really good about Blizzard... Oh, we have a really great waypoint there. One of the things that's really good about Blizzard is it hits targets that are moving. So if you're freezing everything, it's not going to be hitting as well. Whereas with Ice Blast, you will be freezing, but only a single monster, which then makes the other monsters try and move around a little bit more. Because they're trying to, you know, move away and stuff. So for Mephisto, you can always fight him like a woman, or... Oh, that's not going to be a great one. We've got these guys down here, which is actually annoying, so we need them away. Otherwise, they're just going to heal Mephisto. So we either have to kill them or move them away. I'm also on players 8 right now. So we can just move them away, that's fine. But the other option is you come right down here and you just blizzard from afar. And Mephisto will just, you know, kind of hang out. So this is the classic cheesing Blizzard method, which I used when I was a wee lad. World famous moat trick. A nice and easy way to kill Mephisto. So it's really great because you can use this in Hell, for instance, especially if you're not feeling like your character's in a great spot and you need to get some gear but you don't feel strong enough to really fight Mephisto. You can do so right here. Sure. Ballista! Wow, what a cool drop.
Mephisto shall no longer darken our souls with hatred.
Whoa, all res 6, hello. What a cool drop. One of my favorite items. So we found a Buriza. Just a sexy item. Oh, so gorgeous. And we found a 6 all-res charm, which is amazing. Very happy to have a 6 all-res charm. Run that enchant source with Buriza. Okay, we'll go Cold Mastery, we'll go more Vitality. Again, that was a player's 8 kill. You can definitely kill him on players 1, players 3, it'll be a lot faster. I just forgot to change it and it was fine.
Not enough mana.
See if we can find Mr. Isual.
Not enough mana.
Also, you'll note again that being on 63 FCR really just works a lot better for like teleporting around and stuff. When you're on 37, you'll just find yourself getting caught out a lot more. But on 63, the character just moves a lot smoother. Love it, Kai. And yes, Act 1 mercenaries do not use crossbows, otherwise we could definitely consider giving that to him. Hammer, synergies, concentration, holy shield next. Yeah, once you've got all those, then you can move on to holy shield. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of potions here. It's on players 8 right now, which is why, like, I'll drop down to players 1. We've just been mostly running players 8 for everything here. Huh. Oh, that goes up. Okay. Do you have a recommendation how many points to put in? So I generally like to get Cold Mastery to about where it's at right here. I like to go for about minus 100. The reason being is at minus 100, I'm kind of always in the right spot. Right? Co-rune? Oh, Shale Rune. Womp womp. If we found some cool runes there, we could have done a lot. Right? So, also we did improve our chip gem situation. So now we're closer to that prismatic. If we did, yeah, perfect topaz for the Amis, cool. So, yeah, so like I say, minus 100 is great because every monster will at least have 0% cold res for the most part, and that will then get them to minus 100. So I like to get usually up to at least that point, and then additionally, when I get a lower resist wand, which we can actually go shop right now. I just realized I should have kept my Ancient's Pledge for my offhand. When you get Cold Sunder, then you want max Cold Mastery. Correct. But that's not till you beat the game.
Approach and let's trade.
So at this point I'm looking for low resist charges on a wand. And this is half for my Blizzard, but almost even more so half, or more than half, for whatever alternate side skill I get later, because I'm not going to have nearly as many points into that. So I'll want to have additional, you know, in a way to make that deal additional damage, whether it be Firewall, Fireball, Hydra, Lightning, Charge Bolt, whatever it is, right? So I'm just looking at Nightmare, Drognin. If your map does not set you up with this top right exit, you can just reset your map. Remember, it will reset all of your maps when you do so. But lower resist, and again, remember, it is lower resist charges. Lower resist will make it so we can static lightning immune monsters that we can break the resistance on.
Approach and let's trade.
Best place to upgrade my gold wrap belt.
Allow me to advise.
What do you mean by upgrade it? Like, what's the best thing to get in its spot? Or you just want to make it 16 slot? I mean, gold wrap is,
Allow me to advise you.
you know, more for magic find and everything anyway. So honestly, there's a lot of improvements that you could get to it depending what you want. If you want to have, you know, string of ears or something, that could be really nice.
Good day.
Hell and Duriel, Should be a good drop chance on that.
Approach and let's trade.
And this can take a little bit. We're getting a lot of charges, but not the right ones.
Greetings.
Gold wrap is an IAS. Yeah, it's got 10 IAS, which is nice, but if you don't need the 10 IAS, then,
Ask.
you know, maybe try and get Dungos there. Maybe try and get Arachnid Mesh for the plus to skills. Hydro Orb is not a bad idea at all, no. I mean, Hydro Orb and Blizzard Hydra, whatever, you know, they're very similar.
Approach and let's trade.
There we go. So there's our low resist wand. We'll go ahead and put it on our offhand. And like I said, I should have been smart and just put my Ancient's Pledge on my offhand as well. But I am not a smart llama all the time. So we can just set that there, and we can go to the River of Flame and do the Chaos Sanctuary. Now the first thing you'll want to do in the Chaos Sanctuary as a cold sorceress is go check out Desace. This is for Nightmare. And the reason is Desace can sometimes spawn cold immune in Nightmare. And if that's the case, you can try and fight him with, you know, getting a mercenary and killing all the mobs around him and everything like that. Or you can just reset it until he's not cold immune. Looks like he's not cold immune this time, so I'm not too worried. We'll just kill him and keep moving. In Hell, he will always be cold immune, so that's where we will need another element, but almost got Bariza again. Is this the same game as that? Guess we can't tell. Grand Vizier. 25 life, 19 mana. Yes, please. Continuing to stock up on some nice things. We'll stick players 1. And we can go ahead and swap to our offhand and lower resist Diablo. So he'll die a little bit faster. Go ahead and grab the chains and those and those and those and that. And simple as can be, act number 4 is done. I mean, 9 light res is better than 5 light res. 28 fire res does require 88 strength though. That's a little bit much for me. It's actually not a variable scepter. And some more money, some more money. Act 4 done. Simple. We're a couple points away from where we want to be there. Feel good enough on money. I don't feel like I need to keep all those. Let's go to Act 5. More vitality. I'll go up to players 8.
Not magic.
And we'll go. I don't really like the Bloody Foothills, so I just want to get through it. And my main goal is just kill Shank. Otherwise, there's a lot of archers and quill rats and annoying mobs here. So we'll kill Shank, and then we will get to our favorite farming spot if we need it, which of course is going to be Eldritch. If you feel like you need or want to level some more and you really want safe farm, just farm Eldritch. Save and quit, come back in, rinse, repeat. Just keep doing it. If not, don't worry about it. Like, I'm 54, I feel good enough to just move forward. So, I'm going to just move forward. If there's a boss group on the way that I see, and I feel like, yeah, I want to kill that boss group, I might stop and do that. You might ask why I'm not stopping to kill, like, Thresh Socket or something. And the reason is, killing the bosses like that, like Thresh Socket, that don't have any minions, is not actually worth nearly as much. And the reason is, you only get the single mob experience, right? You're not getting, like, all the additional experience.
Some dev had a field day putting archers in Act 5.
Yeah. They had a blast. They were like, my favorite unit's the archer. Okay, so we want to save Anya. So it's got a little bit of nasty stuff in here. Just have to be a little careful. And you can telekinesis Anya, you can telekinesis the Hellforge, you can telekinesis a lot of things. Even more things in D2R. And again, just another great way to boost up our resistances overall. So we're really starting to get stacked on those. Blizz Guide Orb is the people's chant. Maybe we'll do Orb Hydra in the future. But it won't be that different from this one. I mean, Blizzard's a little stronger, but they're both really solid. Not really worth stopping to kill those guys. I just felt like doing it. Now, again, I urge you to pick up the Ancients Way waypoint before, you go into the Ancients, just because it'll help be a safety in the event that something gets messed up. You die, whatever it is, right? You need to save, quit, come back in.
Good afternoon.
Otherwise, go fill up on some potions. Fill up on your scrolls. Make sure your player's won. And the biggest thing is make sure you're not spawning cold immune. And even cold enchant can be annoying sometimes. I'll go ahead as well, and we will cast low resist on them. And your main focus is not to get hit by Talic. If the other guys hit you, it's not end of the world usually. But just don't get hit by Talic. Also, beware of anybody who is fire enchanted. If they blow up right next to you, that may be your death. So, if you have someone like Talic here who's fire enchanted, you might want to keep back a little bit when he dies. Otherwise, his death might just explode and fully kill you in a single shot. Alright, another point. Cold Mastery, Vitality. Lori Turtle, 7 months on the resub, reminding everybody to subscribe to the channel. We are 2 subs away from 1,000 again. Let's get back over and hold it if we can. How about that? Sounds like a fun idea. I also recommend getting the waypoints here in level 2. Because, again, you might need to reset. Wave 2 can spawn Caplunation with Cold Immune. And these Hell Witches can also spawn down here, and they are Cold Immune. And so you might want to reset them. Now, remember what I said before? You can actually break these Hell Witches with your low resist wand. It's one of the few cold immunes you can actually break. Bunny from Mars with the sub, and Caplu both, thank you guys. Bringing us to 1,000 subs. Next stop, 2,000. GG. So you won't always spawn these guys in here, but let's say you do and it's a lot of them, or you can't break it because one of them's a boss and they have immunity that you can't break. You can just reset it, right? This is why we got the waypoint, so we can just reset and we can come back and fight again. For Fireclaw Druid playthrough, it's better to have one hand plus shield or two hand. Oh, jeez. Probably one hand plus shield with attack speed is your main focus. Holy cow, Lori Turtle with 10 gifted subs. I'm also going to go up to players 8. Actually, I'll stay players 1 for wave 2 because they can spawn cold. Akmel will sometimes spawn cold immune. But then we can go players 8 for the remaining waves. GG, Lori. Players 8. Let me get some love. Finally, Moo Girl's daughter can afford to eat. First off, Moo Girl's daughter. She is also my daughter. Both of them are. Secondly, they can eat. They do eat. Not that they just can. They eat food. Every day. Last time we went to the doctor, we were out of failure to thrive and up to the 2nd percentile. Thank you very much. Also, I'm going to start putting points into Ice Blast now that I have my minus 100%, and I feel pretty good about that. Does my daughter also have a lisp? I don't have a lisp. I just have a bit tongue. God. For these waves as well, I really like to drop the lower res if you're doing like players 8 on this, just because it can be a little bit. So set some of those up, and then as soon as they spawn, you can get lower res down, and at least get like, you know, half to 2/3 of them covered in it. It can be a nice way to just kind of speed up and make the waves a little bit easier. Thank you, Buzzsaw, for 10 months. But you can see, I mean, we're getting a lot of experience. This character deals so much damage that we can actually get a lot of experience here. Which is, I mean, just fantastic. So, if you want to level up on Eldritch, you can, but this is a character that I would say you can even level up on Baal waves. I like leveling up in Hell, because it's also very strong, but Baal waves also work. I'm going to drop down to players 1, put another point in, up to level 58. We will lower resist, static. And just like that, give yourselves a clap, everybody. Nightmare is done, and you are flying.
The last of the 3.
Absolutely flying through it. Wow, not bad. So let's review Nightmare, and then we'll get part Hell rolling. But let's do our Nightmare sign-off review, and then we'll start there. So, we are level 58. Again, fantastic level. If you want to be a higher level, go for it. Just, you can increase it even more. You can do more Baal runs. You can do more Eldritch runs. You can do some Pindle runs if you want. Whatever you want. right? Our stats, we are 53 strength, which we just need for our items. Then we are rest, vitality, and we do have 15 in energy currently. Our skills, we are 113 currently in static, just a little bit bigger static's actually nice. And then max blizzard, I have it to minus 100 on cold mastery. You could go a little more, doesn't crazy matter. And then I'm jamming points into Ice Blast now, but I also have some from Glacial Spike and stuff, just kind of the synergies. And our gear is Spirit Sword. Really nothing on the helm. We just have this Soul Mask. Something that we can look for since we haven't found Soul Rune yet for lore. But something that we can look for. Hey, Bubaka. Thank you very much for the raid. Mwah. Just saw that. Since we don't have lore, we can just look for, you know, one, a circlet that we can imbue could be really nice. Two, we could get a white mask or a white crown or a white helm that's going to get 3 sockets with socket quest. I can go to Larzik, socket it, and then I can put like perfect ruby, ort, ral, and it'll be 30 res, and some life, you know, like you can do something like that, or you can just make an ort helm if you need a bunch of light res. There's really a lot of options there. We have this amulet right now, a little bit of life and mana. Honestly, it's not great. Our plan will probably be just to go get a prismatic amulet really quickly and wear that. We have Mosers giving us 63 all resist. Ancient's Pledge would be here otherwise. Really nothing in the glove department. We will also go and shop some better gloves really quickly. Fire resist, a big life belt we shopped, FCR with a little MF and mana, and some fire res here. So the gear is not amazing actually, especially in this bottom section. Some nice charms though. 6 all res, life and mana, 50 mana, MF, life and cold res. Yeah, doing all right. So that is part Nightmare. We will end it here. We'll start Hell, we'll do a little shopping, and then we'll jump into Hell and go finish this puppy up. But don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. I'll see you in part Hell. Peace.